In today's episode of Pottery in the Garden, I'm gonna show you around before I choose a spot. Here's some of the views. This is farther away from the first video. I like that view. And here is the bonsai bench that Martin built for me last year. It's by the fence. And here you can see vegetable garden. It's in full sun, so I didn't decide on that one. But it's a nice presence to be with vegetables. And here's our peach tree that is already setting fruit. Exciting. My cat joined me in the garden when I was making pottery. Here's some other bonsai in the making, the spruce forest in a large oval pot. That video has lots of views on YouTube. And here's the dragon pot and juniper in training. And I've decided to be right here. So I start to set up. So here we are in the afternoon. I chose this spot because it has some shade and I can enjoy the setting sun. So here's my setup. And this is my view. The sun is there. It's going to travel through that tree, but it's not going to reach my eyes. Actually, I don't know. We'll see. So here I am. This spot there was where the first video was filmed. And I'm moving further into the garden today. My cat is curious about what's happening here. She might hop in the video. This is a special gift I got from Nigel 2 years ago, I think now. And he's been sitting here in the garden, growing a little bit of moss with those logs, some Japanese fern, and a rock, and nestled there is tiger bark ficus that just got trimmed. Oh yeah, photobombing here. Silver, you want to be in the video today? She's trying to jump on my chair. Okay, so here I have the remaining 2 shapes that I cut earlier, and I put wet paper towels around them, and now the paper towels are dry and they're still a little bit dry. So I'm gonna see if I can re-moisturize them a little bit. Keep this one wrapped while I'm working on that one. And this is really cool because I can see how the light is moving through the leaves. So that's gonna be interesting in the filming. We're gonna see changes in the lighting. I'm gonna add a little bit of water with the sponge. It's okay that it's leather hard because I will be adding stuff. It does not need to be plastic. It might actually make it easier for me. We'll see. We got this posture that's gonna be like that. And in this posture is often where you see a heron observing, waiting for the fish. Then the neck needs to be longer and the body will be just suggested, and that way we got the leg here, and it's just one leg. Alright, I don't need to fuss too much about it because I'm gonna be adding chunks anyways. I have some clay from the bag and it's so warm. It was in the sun all day in the bag. Often when I sit in the garden in the last week or so, the great blue heron just flies over, just right across my garden. And I've seen it every day in the morning when it flies in this direction, and at night when it comes back. A few days ago, it actually went into my neighbors because they have a pond. It was in the morning, but it just flew off very quickly, so I don't think it could catch any fish there because my neighbors put the netting to prevent the heron from just feasting on their koi fish. That's one reason why I'm doing the heron today. There's other reasons as well. And I feel like I don't know how it's gonna come up. So let's see. Time for a hyperlapse. Well, here we have the outline of the heron, and I already have sun in my eyes. But I can see a little bit what I'm doing. So we're gonna do some shaping with the shaping tool just to define the body a little bit more. And here's gonna be a wing and a little bit of a tail. And I want this to be more of a suggested shape, stylized shape, rather than the study from nature. This is not happening from a picture or me looking and trying to copy. This is my impression of the heron and the feeling that I get when I look at it. So there is movement into those lines that perhaps if I try to follow the actual contour of the body, doing like an anatomy study, it would look different, but here it defeats the purpose for me because I want this to be coming from my heart mind, rather than analytical studying mind that copies things. So we're just gonna define the head a little bit more with the tool, and beak as well. I'm actually really happy with this, how it looks like right now. I think it's pretty cool. And then I'm gonna do the same thing with the reeds here, the grasses. So they are right now just blobs, but I want to add dimension to them, maybe split them up a little bit into several smaller reeds and grasses. People are enjoying their evening on the other side of the fence. Yeah, I think this is nice. And these ones will be much thinner. So like that. I'll probably take out some with the Sgraffito tool too, but we're now just dividing the sections. And here's my lake outline, which is kind of rough, just the suggestion of the water. So how do I like that? I think it's good. My leg is very thick. I think I'm gonna work on that with the Sgraffito tool though. So first Sgraffito tool. Let's see, first the bigger one. This is again Camper Tools, different one, but this one can be used on the wheel, but also as a carving tool. So we're gonna go in and actually make a little bit deeper indentation here to kind of go from thin to more deeper cut. And same thing with around here. and around the heron. I'm just gonna clean it up a little bit, get in there. I'll have to get in there with my smaller tool. And the leg here. They have this weird bend to their leg. I don't know how they do it, but they bend their knees backwards. I don't know if you guys noticed that before. Some animals do that, and it's pretty fascinating. So now I'm removing some sections from divided grasses. Just see how like just removing one of them here, and maybe here, creates a natural, more interesting look. And a natural division of shapes that is not repetitive, but rather organic and changing, unpredictable, which is what nature usually is. You won't see grasses growing in even rows in nature. That's going to be a completely different story. They do have their order to them, but it's not what our mind thinks. So I'm going to be also adding few see, this didn't dry even. I gotta kind of flatten it now. I'm gonna add a few drawn lines here just to make it a little bit more. Perhaps maybe make one with seeds on it, or maybe two. The nice thing about those textures is that they come out really well with the glazes, because the glaze will go right in and then bring out all those little lines that I'm making. I'm not going to be going into the feather texture or anything like that, but I do want to have just a few here. I know it's a little bit overdue, but that's all right. And now, so look at this beak here. Because it's a little bit thicker than I want. And I think I'm ready for my sponge. Okay, so here we are. Finished with the Sgraffito tool. Now we're doing the sponging. As described in my previous video. Something that I wasn't aware I'm doing. But when I am recording and talking, it's like I'm becoming more logically aware of my actions, whereas otherwise I'm just using my body's wisdom to create what it wants to do. Okay, so here is the heron now, and we're gonna go in with the rubber tool. Oh, the rubber tip just came off. Okay, let's clean it. And here we go. A little bit more definition around the body, because I would like it to show under the glaze. This one got a little bit too soft with the sponging, so going back. Okay, and the leg. The leg is actually looking very nice. I'm gonna leave it alone. I'm gonna go into the reeds, right into the reeds. Oh yeah, this is nice with the reeds. Here, some more sharpness, separating the grass blades, removing tiny bits of wetness from those curved lines. And the beak. The beak is tricky here because it has this curve to it that is odd, because like there's this roundness to the head, and then it comes into the straight beak. And here, I think we're gonna frame it a little bit more. There we go. I like that. I like that a lot. Okay, my dear heron, do you want to have an eye? Perhaps not an eye, but they do have this crease. That's what makes them, I guess, great blue. I mean the body, but also they have this crease. That's really cool. here. So I'm going to do a little bit of a crease. And here's the heron. So I think this is great the way it is, and I might just do a little bit, either a shape or a closure on the back here. Not sure yet. Let's see what I'll do. So apparently I've decided to make it like this, with just two lines, two edges on both sides, and I must say it's getting me this really peaceful elegance feeling that's very balanced and stable and self-assured and dignified. It's kind of a feeling that I'm usually getting when I'm looking at those birds, especially in their natural environment, when they're in this position. So just bottom and top edges like that. I guess we can just smooth that out a little bit more, but that's it. I love that. I think this blank space here might be also used for calligraphy, like maybe 1 or 2 characters if I want to add it. So here's my heron. And I just want to do a little bit of a reflection on it now that I have created this. I must say the feeling in my body is really, I would say, like pristine clear, like porcelain clear. And I'm really enjoying this gift. It's the energy that has been sitting for a while, wanting to be done. And as always with me, I don't know if maybe if you are an artist, if you can relate to that, but I have a lot of melancholy in my creative process. So the energy comes first like really urgent, wanting to be expressed, and then it starts with a little bit of melancholy and sadness, and as soon as I say to myself, oh, I'm feeling sad, why? That's when it goes downhill. So I'm trying to remember that the sadness is also part of the process. The sadness is also part of the process. And it is a full spectrum, I guess, that has to be felt before one can explore it deeper. And it's always my choice to go ahead and do it anyways. That changes this energy, because I could sit with the sadness forever and never do anything. And I always feel like it takes so much courage to come out of it and then go from the stage of thinking about doing it to actually doing it, and then doing it the way that I want to do it in that moment, and allowing myself to do that, even though it's different and perhaps I have never experienced it before. So I just wanted to share this with you because I feel like maybe somebody goes through a similar process, and might be coming as a surprise that someone who does art on a regular basis like myself still goes through that. But I grew to learn that this is natural and normal, and to embrace it and enjoy it. But also, while I am observing it, I'm not gonna let it stop me from doing what I want to do. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and perhaps this creation will also bring you some cozy feelings in your body, just like it happened for me. Thank you for joining me in today and watching this video. Here's a creative mess. Oh, guess who was here all the time? Want to say goodbye? This is finished silver. I'm no longer gonna be doing clay right now. Oh man, sorry, I have dirty hands. Clay hands on your fur. Look how tight you like this. That's not fun, is it? I gotta wash my hands. Goodbye.